Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the proposed Roblox classic clothing changes and how that's going to kill our community and how Roblox has slowly been killing us over the past couple years because they completely disregard us as an art form despite us being the ones that brought them so much success. During the pandemic, a lot of people can remember TikTok and Roblox mostly because of clothing designers introducing subcultures to new communities that caused a lot of subcultures to grow and become trendy. That is the influence we have, and Roblox thinks that we are a lesser form of art than any other art on the platform. We're lesser than UGC creators, we're lesser than game developers. So I just want to talk about, my experience first and foremost. I know it's been a really long time since I've done any videos. I'm a lot older now, but I still do design pretty actively, and I still love the community. Designing is a huge part of my identity. So I started designing in 2013, and I did not make stable income until about 2018 when I started my group. And as soon as I started making stable income, I started having my clothes stolen. And yes, my experience, by the way, is basically the universal experience for all designers. Every designer has gone through this. Some a little more extreme than others, but overall, all of us have suffered. We put hours into our work and we have basically no creative rights over it. And now we also won't have any income from it. Anyhow, so my clothing started getting stolen, and I really could not do anything about it until the DMCA system was introduced, which was around 2020. And at first, it worked really well. If anybody remembers, there was the Only Originals Discord server where there was a bot that could detect how many times your work was copy botted. I had one outfit alone copy botted 800 times on just the shirt, so that meant probably about 1,600 times it'd been copy botted, not even manually stolen, just the copy bot. Um, and that outfit, I sent an email containing 50 different stolen versions of it. I had all of those deleted successfully with no problems. And so I was living life completely fine. Um Things were working out pretty great at that time, and it was also really easy to gain members because we had the user ads on the platform that would show on the website for people. And you'd put like 1,000 Robux down, sometimes 2,000 on the more competitive days, and you could gain between 500 to 1,000 members a day, if you were advertising right. So things were working out really well. Even with the copies in the catalog, I was able to get them deleted. But around 2021, like late 2021, early 2022, they started giving us problems, the DMCA agents. Instead, they wouldn't read our emails, so they would accidentally delete the original versions and not the copies, which happened to me, and they wouldn't let me appeal that because yeah, I did not see it. I did not receive a notification about it getting deleted because it wasn't supposed to be deleted. And I was not able to appeal it. And I lost so many sales as a result of that. They started to question the legitimacy of my work. I had to draw lines and make diagrams all over to show that this is my work, that people are tracing it, that people are using parts of my work. Like they would do Frankensteins of my work. Even full-blown copies, I had to show that it was literally stolen from me. Like they continued to question me over and over and over again when I was the one putting hours and hours into this work, uploading it first before anybody else. They wouldn't even look at the upload date. They would also question my personal information in the DMCAs, and we started having problems where people were counter DMCAing falsely, and that was somehow being allowed, even though it was blatant copies that we DMCA'd. And we could not DMCA them back. We couldn't counter them back even though it was our work, because our information would get sent to them. We would get doxxed. So it was just completely awful, and the DMCA system also got turned against us, not only with the false DMCAs and counters, but also through big corporations like Adidas and Nike. and Converse who would DMCA people who uploaded, Adidas clothing when they were like 7 years old. 10 years later, they have a stable income on Roblox. They made a career out of designing, and all of a sudden, they lose everything from a single strike for uploading an Adidas outfit just because they wanted to look like how they dressed in real life as a child. I lost so many friends as a result of that. I had my friends doxxed because of counter DMCAs. I had my friends terminated because of one single strike from Adidas. Basically, every person I designed with at that time is gone. I have basically no designing friends left. I'm the only one that really has stayed throughout this community. And I also I would have my clothing deleted too in DMCAs because when I'd make cosplays, I would name it after the character, and the DMCA agents would tell me, "Oh, that's copyrighted, so we're going to delete yours." But they wouldn't delete the copies that had both the copyrighted name and was literally just a copy and paste of my clothes, my original work. Those would stay up perfectly fine. I saw somebody earn over 30,000 sales off of a Team Nezuko cosplay. Sorry about that. That they stole from me. Um, you know, named after the character with the anime name, never ever got deleted. Anyway, I had to rename all of my cosplays as a result of that, by the way, and that caused me to lose 50% of my revenue. Like, I just wanted to cosplay characters, and, you know, I wanted to share it with other people because I had the art skills to create what they would want to wear when they cosplayed those characters. I just was a fan of those animes, and I was being punished for it. Like, yes, I earned some income off of it, but no, I only earned maybe enough to cover the amount of labor I put into it for drawing it. Because yes, I put hours into drawing it. I put hours into drawing every single piece of clothes I make. And somehow I deserve to have my work deleted because I just want to share it with people and not have it stolen from me. But other people that steal it from me, they would never have theirs deleted. Anywho, fast forward a couple more years, I would say it's around the time I made my Twitter. Was that late 2023? It was maybe late 2023. They changed the algorithm. So my clothes, the originals, were hidden at the bottom of the catalog, and all the copies, all shown above it. To this day, I still can't find my own clothes in the catalog. Even though I uploaded them first, I had the most sales on them. I lost another half of my revenue. So that makes me down to about 25, actually I would say 20% of the revenue now that I used to have when at my peak when things were actually working out in like 2021. So that's basically my experience. And ever since then, I've been starting to lose members too because I can't advertise anymore since the removal of the ads, the user ads. Um, I tried to release a game and now it's going to be locked to people under 16, even though I spent 2 years working on it. I wanted to release a game to sell my clothes in and to have people take pictures in and have fun in, and people can't even play it. So if Roblox really wanted to preserve our experience as clothing creators, they would, number one, make the DMCA system reliable again, where our stuff isn't getting falsely deleted, where we aren't getting doxxed for defending our rights, and where people aren't getting terminated for one strike from a corporation despite other people, getting DMCA'd literally by other people on the platform, not being terminated after 30 different DMCAs from different people, by the way, because yes, I have DMCA'd somebody probably 30 times and so have other people. Yes, that person is still uploading to this day, still stealing to this day. And then they would also, I say they should introduce a system that detects when exact replicas are re-uploaded. After detecting that, it should allow the original uploaders the option to approve or deny these re-uploads, because it's such a simple thing to introduce. All of us who haven't designed know that once a template is uploaded, when you upload it again, it instantly gets approved because they have it in their system. All they have to do is utilize that system to allow us to prevent re-uploads. Is that so hard? They say that this update is to m- is to help us, by incentivizing game creators to use our work in their games when they already do. Every outfit game uses classic clothing. It's 100% rate. Everybody uses classic clothing because a lot of people I know build their outfits around the classic clothing they're wearing. Like, I don't know what fantasy world they live in. And now all of a sudden, these game creators, just because they slapped our outfit in their game, are going to make more money off of our creations than we will. They're going to make 40% of our revenue share, while we only make 30%. Now, no hate to game creators because I really appreciate them giving us a place to actually preview clothing. Well, for customers to preview our clothing and for us to make detailed outfits uh, actually in game where we know what it looked like. It's just, I don't think they deserve more of a revenue share on my hard earned money just because they were nice enough to put our work in their game. They have their revenue coming in from game passes, and sure, they can have a revenue share like 10%. But to give them the majority of our revenue on our hard earned money, like, it's just completely absurd and completely diminishes the value of our art form. We are not below other creators on this platform. We have had a significant impact. You know, so much creativity was born from us, from our introductions of subcultures to new communities, from our unique stylings and art styles. Like, I just don't understand why Roblox sees us as such, like, so little compared to everybody else on the platform. And we've been asking for protections. We don't ask for much in this community. We just want basic protection of our creative rights. Is that so much to ask for? Why do we have to have our art form killed instead? There, my experience is basically universal for all designers. And I was lucky enough to make good money. A lot of designers, they're not making stable income and they're making maybe 1% of what I make. How are they supposed to afford 600, 800 Robux fee on every design they upload when they, number one, can't raise their prices because they have to compete with the copies of their work? Number two, they can't advertise on the platform and to gain mass exposure. Number three, you can't create a game anymore because it's locked to people under 16 unless people spend 100,000 Robux in your game. Number four, they can't even DMCA the copies. And it's just it's just so absurd. Even even as a big creator, I have 147,000 members in my group. I regularly get between 100 and 1,000 likes on all my tweets. I have multiple Pinterest posts trending with, 300,000 views. Even I am lucky to have a significant portion of my work surpass 600 to 800 revenue. And now we're supposed to do that when we're earning only 1 Robux per sale, maybe two if it's bought in the marketplace. How are we supposed how do you even say you're not going to remove classic clothing, but then you're going to kill every single incentive to create it? And even as somebody who does this out of passion, because I design because I wanted to be a fashion designer growing up, and my life took me on a different path. So I found myself instead doing designing in my free time on Roblox. I found peace with it in my own way, that it was not my actual career path. And a lot of people, by the way, make this their careers. A lot of people pulled their families out of financial stress by designing on Roblox. How are they supposed to do that now when they can't even get started, where the majority of their clothes are most likely going to never make their investment back? How are we supposed to do that? I'd be lucky if I had the majority of my UGC make their investment back. I'm still getting the rebates after having them uploaded for months. And you think people are going to make that back, making only 1 to 2 Robux per sale? It is such a slap in the face to say that you weren't going to remove our art form from the platform, but then to put the nail in the coffin after slowly killing it for years by completely disregarding all of our concerns for the community. It, I don't really know what else to say except that you need to stop valuing us so little because we are the ones who brought popularity to your platform. Like Roblox fashion, specifically 2D fashion, is one of the biggest aspects of the platform and that lures people in. You see Everskies. People love 2D fashion. There's so much potential with 2D fashion. People love 2D fashion. There and yet you value us so little. Like I have over 1 million sales. That's over 1 million people who felt compelled to spend money on Roblox just to purchase my creations. And you think that my creations are worthless. That my creations are lesser than other people's. It's a slap in the face. And I I'm so distraught. I've already spent years physically sick to my stomach every time I even look up the name of an outfit I made in the catalog or on catalog avatar creator because I see so many copies of it untouched by moderation, never DMCA'd. And now, I've had to endure years of Roblox slowly showing the true colors that they do not see my art form as a real form of art, that I am lesser than all other creators on the platform. And now I finally have to see this where it's the nail in the coffin. I'm genuinely heartbroken. And I'm not the only one who is physically sick seeing how Roblox has disregarded us. There are so many designers who feel just awful inside because their passions are being stomped on by Roblox. And I just want to say if it's investors compelling Roblox to introduce these changes, I'm just going to say it now. Roblox does not need to listen to those people. They don't seem to understand the network effects on this platform. All we need are the tools to help this platform thrive. Roblox does not need to stick their hand in because the job is already done. You engineered a platform that opened the door for creators to bring in more players. You don't need to change anything except just make quality of life improvements for us so we can create more. And I just think these investors don't understand that fact. You don't need to become the next VR chat. You don't need to become the next Invu. You don't have to become Second Life. Roblox is its own standalone platform that has its own dedicated player base, and that player base will continue to grow as long as the creators continue to grow. There is no logic in limiting the creative abilities of the people on a platform that relies on creativity. Just because you view classic clothing as obsolete, it is not obsolete. This is a platform based on creative opportunities or creative liberties. People want to be able to express their creativity. So there is no point to limiting people's options. Who who is against allowing Roblox to thrive? It's not us. We are not against Roblox. We are trying to help the platform too by creating. We just want to be allowed to create things. So, this was a pretty passionate um pretty passionate discussion from me, and I actually feel out of energy after ranting that hard. And I didn't even get to play my game. I wanted to have gameplay in the background. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's just I am deeply hurt, and so are other creators on this platform. We are deeply hurt by Roblox's choice to disregard us as creators and to kill our art form that we love and many other people love. So I really don't know what else to say other than that. My experience is basically universal for designers, and we just want to be appreciated and heard because we have not been heard. It's been I think the last time I felt heard by Roblox was when they introduced the DMCA system, but that quickly, soured and added 10 times more struggles for us. So, I hope that this change will be reverted. And if it isn't, I am calling it quits. I'll upload occasional UGC, but 2D clothing is done. I've taught so many creators on this platform who have grown into wonderful artists, and I'm so sorry that I can't have any other people learn from me to join this platform as a clothing creator and to find a new hobby that they might love.